The Mongol Empire stretched from the Pacific to Eastern Europe. Kublai Khan ruled from his great capital, Khanbaliq. He had conquered China and Korea. His armies were unstoppable. Now his eyes turned east, toward an island chain. Across the sea waited Japan. In the 13th century, Japan was a feudal land of samurai. The Kamakura shogunate ruled the islands. Its young regent was Hojo Tokumune, just 18 years old. The samurai trained for war from childhood. Japan would stand alone against the largest empire in history. In 1268, Mongol envoys arrived at Dazaifu with a scroll. The letter demanded submission and tribute. It was sent to Kamakura, to the shogunate. Tokumune read the demands by candlelight. He refused. Japan would not bow. He sent riders to every coast, prepare for war. Across Kyushu, samurai families readied their armor. Watchfires lit along the shore at every promontory. More envoys came. All were turned away. Some envoys never returned home. Kublai Khan's fury shook the throne room. Korea was forced to build the invasion fleet. Forests were stripped to provide timber. 900 ships were constructed in months. 30,000 troops were assembled, Mongols, Chinese, Koreans. November 1274. The fleet sailed from Korea. The horizon filled with sails. Tsushima Island was the first to face them. Its small garrison made a stand on the beach. The island fell in a single day. Iki Island stood next. Its lord rode out at the head of his men. They formed a line on the beach as the boats landed. The defenders were overwhelmed. Iki fell. The Mongol fleet pressed onward. Through the strait, toward Kyushu's mainland. A Japanese lookout saw the masts at dawn. Beacons blazed along the coast. Across Kyushu, samurai mounted up. November 19th. The fleet reached Hakata Bay. The Mongols disembarked in disciplined ranks. Samurai gathered on the dunes above. A single mounted samurai rode out, shouting his lineage. The Mongols answered with 100 arrows in unison. Single combat tradition met group tactics. Wave after wave of mounted samurai charged forward. The Mongol lines held, locked in disciplined formations. Then a Tetsuhou bomb exploded, sparks and smoke. Samurai horses panicked at the sound. The defenders pulled back to Mizuki's ancient walls. The battle raged all day. Long bows met composite bows. Poisoned arrows arced through the air. Both sides took heavy losses. Evening fell on the smoke-stained field. The Mongol commanders argued in the flagship cabin. They withdrew to the ships for the night. Then the wind began to rise. The sky darkened. Clouds raced across it. A great storm swept Hakata Bay. Ships smashed against the rocks. Hundreds of vessels sank in the dark. Dawn revealed wreckage from horizon to horizon. The surviving ships fled north. 13,000 invaders were lost to the sea. The samurai stood on the beach in awe. A Shinto priest raised his hands to the sky. Kami no Kaze. The divine wind. Tokimune received the news with quiet relief. But he knew Kublai would come again. Tokimune ordered a great wall along Hakata Bay. Stone by stone, the wall rose. 20 kilometers of defense along the coast. Samurai trained constantly, learning new tactics. Captured Mongol weapons were studied carefully. Smaller fortifications rose along all of Kyushu. The monk Nichiren prophesied another invasion. 6 years passed. The wall grew complete. Kublai's new envoys came. None returned. The greatest fleet in history was being prepared. 2 routes, eastern from Korea, southern from China. 4,400 ships in total. 140,000 soldiers boarded the fleet. No fleet this size would sail again until 1944. Kublai watched his armada from the palace window. June 1281. The eastern route reached Tsushima. The island fell again. Iki fell again. The fleet approached Hakata Bay through the mist. But this time, the Great Wall awaited. The Mongols could not advance off the beach. The wall stretched for many miles unbroken. Samurai archers rained arrows from above. Mounted defenders sortied through the gates. At night, small Japanese boats slipped out to sea. They reached the Mongol ships in darkness. Samurai climbed aboard with grappling lines. Quick fighting. Then back over the side. Fires bloomed across the fleet at dawn. The Mongols were bleeding from 1,000 small wounds. The eastern fleet waited for the southern fleet. Then sails appeared on the southern horizon. The 2 fleets joined into an unprecedented armada. They gathered around Hirado Island. The commanders planned the final assault. Dawn. Troops boarded the landing boats. Samurai reinforcements poured in from across Japan. The assault on the wall faltered. The samurai went on the offensive. Naval battles raged across the bay. August 1281. The sky changed color. A Korean sailor knew the signs. The wind grew strong. Sails snapped wildly. The Mongols lashed their ships together for safety. Then the kamikaze arrived. Massive waves rolled over the clustered fleet. Lashed ships crashed into each other. Hundreds sank in a single hour. The storm raged through the night. 100,000 lost. In one storm. Wreckage washed ashore for many days. Survivors gathered on Takashima Island. The samurai went there to end the resistance. Only a few damaged ships limped home. The greatest invasion fleet in history. Destroyed. Kublai Khan ordered a third invasion. New shipyards started reluctantly. The plans gathered dust on the table. Kublai died in 1294. The third invasion never came. Japan would not be invaded again until 1945. Shrines rose to honor the divine wind. Samurai became heroes of legend. The Great Wall stood for generations. The Kamakura shogunate continued. Tokumune was remembered as the savior of Japan. Stones from the wall survive to this day. Underwater archaeologists find Mongol shipwrecks. Helmets, swords, and armor are recovered. The Tetsuhou bomb, the first explosive weapon in war. Kamikaze. The word echoes across centuries. Hakata Bay today is a peaceful modern city. Children learn the story in school. Two storms. One nation. One legend. Japan stood alone against the world. And Japan won.